call yourself a man? You know you're a lying, low-life, motherfucking gambling degenerate prick. You know that's what you are?
Well, hello you degenerate fucks, and welcome to The Degenerate Gambler. It is Thursday the 29th of July. I'm back with the first episode of Season 2. Going to talk about outright bets, just in general, my own outright bets that I'm looking at for the season ahead. And just a wee idea I have for the nap of the week. So it'll not be too long a day today. So getting into the outright bets, what a fancy. I have placed one bet. I'll get that at the end. Still waiting on a few. Still waiting on markets to be priced up as well. The top goal scorer for each club has not been priced up yet. Well, I checked a day or two ago on Bet365, but they usually leave that right until the last, so that'll be the last bet that I do. So, anybody who follows me on social media or joined the Telegram group will probably have seen that one of the things I put out early was that I seen a price of 5-1 for Wolves to be relegated. I've been toying with it, thinking about it. I really don't know. I haven't decided yet. It's a big price, and Wolves are a good team, but they have lost their manager and their goalkeeper. They've brought in a manager, okay, he's Portuguese. They've got basically their whole squad's Portuguese, so might just go as normal. It might not be a big deal, but definitely worth considering. But I do fancy that. Another team who've lost their manager, who are a decent price to go down, is Crystal Palace. Now, Palace have signed a few players, signed Redmond went to Everton, but they've signed a few players anyway. I can't think now. My head's went blank there. They lost Andros Townsend to Everton, I think. But anyway, they've always been a candidate for relegation anyway. Roy Hodgson kept them up. Will a new manager, Patrick Vieira, who's unproven really in proper football. He went to America and stuff, but it could be a recipe for disaster. That so 2-1, I think that's a good price. So I'll skim through a few others that have got Rangers to win the league. They were 4-9. They're now 1-2. I think that's a pretty good bet. Spurs to finish top 6, 4-5. Say new manager, stuff like that. I'm not sure. If they lose Harry Kane, that's a definite no. Which is why I'll probably not touch that one. Leeds to finish in the top half is 4-5. Pretty decent bet. But the only thing you have to consider here is some of the teams that underperformed last year might do better. Your Arsenals and stuff like that. Who I think Arsenal might have finished 9th or 10th. But yeah, it's just that one, maybe not. Another one I fancy is Middlesbrough to finish in the top 6. So that's Neil Warnock. He's like playoff specialist, gets his teams promoted. He's had a year, 18 months with them, so he's probably got the squad that he wants. And again, they don't have to go up; they just have to finish in the playoffs. 2-1, I think, is a pretty decent price. One that I think I mentioned before at the end of the season, because of their style of football, would be Brentford to stay up. Obviously didn't know the price then, but they are 4-6. They're the shortest of the 3 teams, I think, that came up to go back down. So obviously the bookies think that they've got a decent chance anyway. Another one, Leicester to finish in the top 6, 11-10. I think that's a pretty good bet, because are there 6 better teams than Leicester in the league? Maybe, when you count Arsenal, Spurs. So you've got last season top 4, Arsenal, Spurs, maybe Everton. Obviously, Leicester finished, I think, 5th last year. But as I say, you've got your Everton may come back with Benitez this year. Arsenal will probably have a better season. Spurs never finished in the top 6, I don't think. So that one, on sort of history and stuff, Leicester probably aren't a top 6 team. Yeah, so last year Leicester were 5, West Ham were 6, Tottenham were 7, Arsenal 8. Do you know what I mean? So Everton 10. So them teams can improve and get close to that top 6. But Leicester have a good squad. Brendan Rodgers is a good manager. I'm not sure if they've brought anybody in yet, but I think 5th or 6th is achievable again for them. The thing again is with them is Europe. Will they cope well with Europe? But Brendan Rodgers will rotate as he did when he was a Liverpool manager. He tried to. He didn't always play his strongest team in the European games because he kept them for the leagues. I seem to remember Liverpool playing Real Madrid before with Steven Gerrard and a few other big players on the bench. So, yeah, look, that's a big possibility. Villa also to finish top half. Villa finished 11th last year, so they didn't finish top half, but good team. Depends again whether they keep Jack Grealish, so that's one of them ones you have to be careful about who they're saying and who they let go. But that's 11 to 10 for Spurs to finish in the top half. Another one is in Scotland. So in the Scottish League 1, Alloa are 5 to 1 to win the league. They were relegated from the Championship. Their manager left, and then I have Barry Ferguson, who actually obviously ex-Rangers, probably still has his contacts, maybe get some good players, young players on loan. And also he got Kilty Hearts promoted from the Lowland League or the Highland League, one of those two, and got them into the actual Scottish League. So he's a decent manager. I did email Bet365 to ask would they be pricing up for promotion, and they've said that they won't. They're only offering league winner. So look, that's a big price. It may go into one of the not main bet, my next one there. Other ones I looked at were Wrexham to get promoted. They are 11 to 4. They're also 11 to 2 to win the league. Obviously backed by Ryan Reynolds and a guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I can't remember his name right now, but they may have some players coming in. Juventus to win the league 5 to 4. Also West Brom to get promoted 11 to 4. So yeah, I think a couple of other ones that this is reading out of the bet that I've done anyway. But so Cluj to win the league 5 to 4. They won the league last 2 or 3 years. I backed them last year. Ajax are 4 to 9. Salford to get promotion 6 to 4. Sheffield Wednesday to finish in the top 6 4 to 5. Seville top 4 6 to 5. Aberdeen to finish 3rd because you do it without Rangers and Celtic is 11 to 8. And Aberdeen obviously had a new manager, and Scott Brown has went in as a player coach, so he's got that winning mentality. He doesn't he doesn't settle for mediocrity. So yeah, so some good selections there. Probably 10 or 15. So I'm going to need to whittle that down a bit from my two big bets. Another one that I priced up recently for the Super Cups and the actual Super Cup, which is Chelsea and Villarreal. Chelsea are 5 to 6. Munich are 17 to 20 to win their sort of charity shield, whatever you call it. They call it the Super Cup. 17 to 20 against Dortmund, and PSG play Lille in their version of that Super Cup, and they're 4 to 6. The three of those together come out at 5 to 1, and they're all within a sort of week of each other. Maybe a decent wee small bet, 5 to 1, 10 around 60 quid. But at least it doesn't mess up your sort of overall season bet. So yeah, before I move on to my idea, a few other wee things. The bet that I've placed is my fiver one. Which is just like I said before, obviously short priced teams for promotion, relegation, win leagues, etc. All that. So what I've went for is Cluj to win the league at 5 to 4, Villa top half 11 to 10, Ajax to win the league 4 to 9, Salford to be promoted 6 to 4, Sheffield Wednesday top 6, which is 10 to 11, Seville to finish top 4 6 to 5, and Aberdeen to finish third, 11-8. So fiver on that pays £1,500. So yeah, pretty good return from a small bet. As I said, there was a risky one in there with Villa. I've done that before. Obviously, I know whether Jack Grealish goes or not. But as I said, they finished 11th with 4 points behind Everton. But again, our West Ham, our Leeds going to have as good a season. Is Everton going to go well? Who knows? One of those top teams could have a bit of a bad season. I'm just hoping they do keep Jack Grealish. Yep. So that's basically that. Move on to saying about the top goal scorer for teams. Obviously, it's going to be most just picking the ones who are reasonably priced. If they're like a Salah or something's 1 to 3, there's no point betting it. Which I think he will be pretty low this year. He was, I think, 4 to 5 last year, and I picked him as a good pick. But yeah, it's just sometimes when a team only has one striker, they tend to, cut the price really because there's not much. There's not much sort of percentage that it's going to happen, that it's going to be somebody else. But again, you've 20 teams to choose from there in the Premier League. I'll have a good look at that once it's released. So that's basically it, except for the nap of the week. So as you know, the nap of the week is obviously what I try to do is a small bet to cover any money I would be placing that weekend. So I like to try to win 40, 50, 60 pound, because that will cover and probably give me a small profit on anything that I bet that weekend. Which is why I ask people, including I do it myself, for their 2 or 3 favourite selections of the weekend, their nap, their pick, their what other names, there's a few other names, people, bankers, that people call a nap. So this year I had an idea of, just for the people who normally do it, and there's 8 or 9 listed here, I'll not read them out, but the people who actually pick the naps for me, including myself, to, instead of sending me it via text or whatever, or over social media, they could record a voice note on their phone and send me it by email. Obviously I have an email, it's thedegenerategambler@outlook.com, or actually .co.uk, but listen, I'll let them know that if that's what they want to do. But I tested it, I did it myself, I recorded it, sent it to myself on email, was able to open the file. I think I did it was 90 seconds or just over a minute and a half anyway, and the file size was fine, it fitted in the email. So it's just an idea, like, for the guys who are picking the bets, to see if you'd like to have your voice heard. I'll happily play it on the show. You don't have to, obviously, you can still just send me it via text or whatever. But I just thought it'd be like a nice wee change for to be able to hear all your dulcet tones instead of listening to me all the time. So just wanted to know, and I'll be asking on social media too once this episode's out, like, do people think that that's a good idea? Would it be something to be interested in? So yeah, just to me it's just making it a bit more, instead of me just reading out, this and that and the other, I could play what they say, why they fancy that club, why they fancy it over 2s, why they fancy someone to win, just whatever. So basically giving you what research they've done in sort of verbal rather than written form. So yeah, that's basically it. I will talk slightly about outright bets. I know I did this as the very first episode last year about outright bets, but that was a year ago, and with a lot more listeners and followers since then. Outright bets, to me, a lot of people don't like them because you have to wait all season, and they just don't find it interesting. But for me, anybody that doesn't know, I've said this before, I've posted them before, I won a few thousand, maybe 4 years ago now, on 2 outright bets, and just ever since then I've just found it, I've just enjoyed doing it. It's always good to have that thing that runs all season. It's just, it can be, annoying when, especially if you do it online, because you go on and then bets are currently always there, and you can always look at the cash out, and there's a temptation, if it's doing well, the cash out, if it's a big bet, and but I never do that. But I just do it because I enjoy that test for the whole season. You know, there'll be times I checked last year that some of mine were offering me maybe 2 or 3 times stake. Other times it was offering pennies. You know, just that sort of ebb and flow of how it'll go up or down based on obviously the form of the teams that you've picked. So yeah, just I enjoy outright betting. I think most people like a wee outright bet. Maybe they don't do as many as me, or they don't do multiples. Maybe they do. You know, probably a lot of people right now back in PSG. I've heard a lot of people backing PSG for the Champions League at 6-1. They were 9-1, so that shows that a lot of people are backing them. You know, with the players they've bought and this and that and the other, but people may be putting 20, 30, 40, 50 pound on them, maybe more, maybe £100 for them to win the Champions League and let that run the whole season. You know, it's always something that you've got in the back of your head that's running. So, as I say, I hope everybody else enjoys outright betting. I'll be posting mine next Friday. I should have all of them done by then. I've still obviously got 3 more to do. I've got my £20 bet, my main one, that is. I have a £15 bet of best of the rest. And then I'll have my goals, my top goal scorer, ACA, which would be maybe 6 or 7 players from each club, or one from each club to be the top goal scorer for that club. So yeah, that's basically it anyway. There obviously is football on at the minute. There's the qualifiers tonight for the Europa League, and the Champions League was last night and stuff like that, and I think the Scottish League starts the weekend. I probably will do a small bet, but I haven't priced up anything. I haven't researched anything. It'll just be a small bet just for an interest. So then if you are doing a bet this weekend, good luck and happy punting.